Alright, welcome to K&R Gunsmithing. Today we're going to be doing a little video of what not to do when you reload. I had this gun brought in to me by a gentleman the other day. Amazingly, he had no injuries, not even a scratch. What he had done is he had actually double charged a 44 mag load when he was doing his hand loads. Kind of show you this. It's pretty amazing that this didn't actually take off any fingers. You can see here that the top chamber is completely gone. Nothing left of it. The two adjacent chambers, you can see that there's still the brass in it. The slugs are both gone. This one, kind of interesting to see where this slug went, because it would have hit into the ejection rod housing right there. This one may or may not have gone down range. I kind of don't think so, because it probably would have hit the barrel right there. And it had these flared off chunks that I had to break. This one actually made me a little nervous to work on, to smith up. He's wanting to send this back to Ruger, thinking that Ruger's going to fix this, and I hate to tell him, but Ruger's going to tell him something else on that one. But he brought this in because he still had three live rounds in the bottom three cylinders, or sorry, the bottom three chambers. And that one, you know, with little kids around and stuff, actually made me quite nervous to pull out, but we're able to do it. And pull these out here and let you see some of this damage. There you can see what's left of those two cases. The scary thing is one of these has a pretty decent heat mark on it in the brass, and this was in this side chamber, and the way that I hold a 44 mag with both hands, I'm pretty sure those would be somewhere different than still attached to my hand. But it actually ripped open the frame right here. You can see the barrel. You see your barrel threads there. It ripped the back of the strap off, and it actually bent the cylinder rod down, and it would not budge at all. We ended up having to grab onto that with a vise, give that a spin, break those ears off, and we were actually able to advance the cylinders until we got those shells, and it bent this door. This door's really tough to get open. It actually bent that so that you couldn't get those apart, but that was a little nerve-wracking here in the neighborhood, spinning those chambers by to be able to get those live rounds out. But we've got them out, and that's what he was asking for, so that he can put them in the mail and send this back to Ruger and probably get told no in a polite way. But there it is, and it actually broke his hand grips too. The guys down at the local gun range where he did this told him that these grips saved his life. It saved his hands, but when I put those on, I think it was lucky it was the top three cylinders or chambers that went off that saved his life. I don't know what those grips would have to do with saving him. So with that said, and this beautiful beast, I told him I think he ought to be able to just go shoot it now. She's good to go again. Kidding. So I want to go over a couple of safety things we can do as reloaders. I'm going to set this aside. I'm going to grab our trusty reloading block. Something I found, because it is possible to double charge some of these pistol loads and not realize it. And something we can do is just in the simple way that we process them. So what I found I like to do is, I don't know how you guys load, but I don't like to change my dies very often. And so what I'll actually do is I'll go through and I'll prime all my pistol loads, or any of them for that matter. Size and prime. And then I'll go back through and take care of the neck. But one thing I found is if I put those in upside down, I know which ones are not loaded. And I'll load them that way. And then as I'm charging them with powder, I will flip it over and put the powder in. So then I know my next step, once I get the next powder load, is to flip one over and fill it. And that way there is no question which ones have powder and which don't. Because, I mean, we all get in a hurry. Maybe it's late night, we're going shooting tomorrow. The wife's ragging on us. So we want to get these loaded as fast as we can. And when we fill that whole block full, you can lose where you're at. And so that's the easiest I found, is once you've primed them, flip them over until you're actually ready to put the powder in. And that will help prevent you from double loading, double charging, and removing, I looked on the internet, and I would say on average 3 to 5 fingers when this happens. I don't know about you guys, but I'm kind of fond of my fingers. They're a little short and fat, but they do the job. So thanks for joining us with this edition of What Not to Do at the Gun Range. Thanks and enjoy.